Okay, for your application, we're doing a retouch application. You're going to be sectioning your mannequin off into the 4 sections that we've done for previous assignments before, right? Just the back of the neck up to the front, and then from the back of the ear over to the other ear, right? So you've got 4 sections here for your mannequin. This one, you're going to be doing a retouch application, so if this were your client, you're not seeing it on this mannequin, there would be a line of regrowth in here. And that's the first part, is to color it up to that line of regrowth. But before you start your color, you're going to be applying, you would have to apply on your client a layer of protective cream, usually a conditioner. We used to use Vaseline in the salon. I would caution you against that. If the Vaseline ends up in the hairline, your color doesn't take as well. So just a heavy conditioner would do, because you don't want your client to leave with that nasty color that doesn't come off around the scalp and the hairline. But this is where we're starting with our retouch application. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do with our retouch application is we're going to go all the way around the hairline just to where the regrowth is. Of course, on your mannequins there is no regrowth, but when you have a client, there's usually, depending on how soon they come in, you'll see that line of demarcation where their color runs out. So you'll just dip your brush in your color. Remember, for us, we're just using cheap conditioner. There's no reason on our practice mannequins that we're going to be wanting to use color. If you want to use color at a later stage on your mannequin, you are more than welcome to. It's not a big deal. So we're just going to come in and we're going to paint that color on right up until the line of demarcation. We're going to go all around the hairline. And once you have this all around the hairline, then the clips really can come out, because they'll be separated by the hairline, the color of the hairline and around the parts. Now remember, I know this is just conditioner, so you're not going to be noticing this, but if this were color and you were sloppy with the color, for example, if you accidentally went way down here with your color, imagine what's going to happen. This is going to turn their skin whatever color that pigment is that you've used. So make sure you're being neat in here with your conditioning application, which is our practice color application, and not getting it all over the scalp, because that is what is gonna, your client's not gonna be happy if they leave with a ring of color on their skin. Okay. And then the second thing that we do, we've got the whole hairline done, is we're then just going to put we're gonna do the regrowth for these 4 sections. Here just on the outside, and this separates it nicely. Sides. Then you'll have your 4 panels sectioned out nice and neat, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to go through this section by section to make sure we've got our color applied evenly. If you just went and applied this color all over in a haphazard manner without taking your sections, you're going to miss some parts of the roots, or you're going to get a splotchy color application in the end. Okay? So you want to be as neat as possible when you're going through here and getting your regrowth area. Once you're done with these sections, you're going to start coloring the regrowth in the area of the hair that is either the most gray or the most resistant. Gray is very resistant hair color. And for most people, the most resistant or the most gray hair happens when these two. So once you've got all your sections, the regrowth done to section out each 4 parts, we're going to be starting in the area that's either the most gray or the most resistant hair, which usually happens in these back panels here. Okay, so we're just going to start in this back right panel, and you're going to drag the tail of your color brush, taking about a 1 centimeter section, and you're going to be brushing the color on just where the regrowth is. So whatever you've decided the regrowth is for this mannequin, just be consistent all the way through. Obviously when you're doing a client, you'll see that regrowth line. It will be very obvious to you, and you just have to keep going through, taking about 1 centimeter sections through here. Make sure they're very clean sections. Doing the sectioning here is the same sectioning you're going to be using for some haircuts. It's the same one, making sure you know clean sections. You use it for haircuts, you use it for perms, you use it for colors. So make sure you're really getting those sectionings done. I know in grade 10 when you all started, when you were doing your sectioning for your roller sets or your brushes, I know there was lots of students who just had trouble getting that clean section in there, but I'm sure you're finding now that you've had lots of practice over these 3 different courses that you'll be able to get that nice clean line all the way across without any issues in there. So we're going to continue doing this for all 4 sections. So we're going to do the 2 back panels first because those are going to be the ones that are going to be the most resistant or the most gray. If that's not the case for your client, you can certainly start wherever the most resistant or the most gray hair is, but usually it is in one of these back panels. Okay, so we finished applying it all to the roots. This is where you're going to really have to check your manufacturer's instructions. What does this color bottle say? For most of the colors that we used when I was in the salon, it was 30 minutes on the scalp, then pull it through for 15 minutes on the ends. I know that the colors now, depending on which brand you're getting, they're only doing a 30-minute application time versus a 45-minute application time. So you're really going to have to check your color and read those instructions carefully as to what to do there. And often this is where people will switch. They will do the regrowth with permanent color, and they will do the previously colored hair with a demi-permanent hair color. And the demi-permanent hair color is just going to be deposit only. So where that is going to benefit the hair is it's not going to be going through that extra lifting process that it doesn't need anymore. It just needs more color deposited on there to make it more vibrant. So again, check your color manufacturer to see if they have demi-permanents in the exact same color as the permanents at the roots, because this would be a great time now to apply the demi-permanent on the rest of the hair. Okay, so keeping in mind that you would always still have your gloves on for your regular color, and you're just going to be pulling this through the same sections, getting that color whether you chose to use a demi-permanent on the ends of the hair or whether you're still using that permanent color to pull it through all the way to the ends. And if you use your same sections that you used to begin with, you should have thin enough sections here that you'll be able to evenly get this color pulled through. Okay, so that's what you're going to do for the entire mannequin, is just brush through, work that color through to the ends, and leave it on for whatever the processing time your color says. Okay, once you have all the color applied from the roots to the ends, now follow your manufacturer's instructions. Do they want you to have a bag over the head and leave it for 15 minutes? Or are you leaving it out without a bag on top? Make sure you're reading all those things. But do note that when we did this color application, we put the hair up on top of the head. We didn't let the hair fall down onto the face. So you can imagine if you were doing this and you let some of this hair fall down, especially if it fell down up around the face area, not only is the color going to stain their skin, but you do not want to get your color in the eyes of your client. That can cause serious damage to your client. So you want to make sure you're being as neat as possible and keeping everything away from the skin and the hairline. But at this point, you've finished your application, you're following your manufacturer's instructions, and then in the end, you're going to rinse this, but lather it up like a shampoo, rinse it off, and again, follow your instructions as to what the follow-up care for the color is.